Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Real Talk Interviews. And here we are in this wonderful time. I kind of effed up the intro, but you know what? That's fine because we have a lovely guest here, Jacob Nosan.
Hey,
How you doing?
good.
Good?
How you guys doing?
We
Doing
keep it
good.
real here.
We keep it real. We were talking about that. Yeah.
Off the cuff, off the cuff.
Good
Yeah.
stuff, man. How have you been?
Good. Can't complain.
Can't complain.
Everything's just been going good.
Yeah, we've been trying to get you on this podcast for a while now.
Oh, yeah. Months.
For the audience, how do you know Jacob?
Oh, Jacob, we've known each other since high school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good old
Yes.
times. Grade 9. We were up and coming filmmakers. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
we were making the art. Christian knows as well because we all went to
yeah.
the same high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those
Yeah.
St. Rock reunions. We had a couple of them for this interview, like previous interviews. Like I think who else was on that was also part of St. Rock? Yeah, Michael was here. No, Eliza. Oh yeah. Eliza was on here too. So we had a few people from St. Rock here, but we've been trying to get you on for a little bit, and you're just like, nah, man, I've been making bank. I'm sorry, you're doing this Real Talk podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But no, I'm glad you're here, man. It's a good day. It's outside. We're filming this.
Beautiful day.
hmm
Yeah, wonderful. And
Beautiful day to talk movies.
we're gonna talk about movies. And I know Nathan. I saw him on his phone getting some questions for you. And are you ready
Oh, yeah.
for
I'm ready.
Nathan's
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
let's
fucking
start.
questions?
Let's start
I
with
was-
some
I stayed
questions
up-
just to kind of get a taste of what your tastes are in film.
Okay.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Marvel, eh? Like
That's pretty easy.
unanimously.
Well, okay.
Are you a
we-
Marvel
are
guy?
we just talking like live action movies? Then Marvel, yeah.
Are you like a Marvel guy? Like, are you actively like watching?
Not
MCU
anymore.
stuff? You fell off the
Not
bandwagon like
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
else.
Yeah.
It was like
When did you fall off?
Endgame.
Yeah.
After- Actually, no. I watched the Spider-Man movie because I love Spider-Man.
Me
It's
too. Yeah.
my favorite superhero.
That's me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
completely relate
but
to
after
that.
Endgame, it was just like, do I really need to keep going with this? I don't know.
No.
So,
Okay.
And what about DC? Do you like any of that DCU stuff?
I haven't. You know what? When I was younger, I watched Man of Steel right when it came out,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I stopped watching because I got bored.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But I was a kid, so I'd be open to rewatching
Yeah.
it for sure.
We did watch The Flash together, and we
Oh
both
my
hated
God,
it.
We did.
You
We
guys saw
did.
Flash together?
Yeah. It was
Oh.
you, me. I think Sam and Matt were also with us.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot. What the?
Well, it's a terrible movie. I'm not surprised you
Yeah.
forgot.
Typically,
Yeah.
you forget
Oh,
traumatic
jeez.
experiences in your
Jeez,
life. You
jeez,
just
jeez.
suppress them deep in
Oh
your
my
mind.
god, yeah.
It was just so fun to him, who's a super fan.
I'm a super fan of
DC,
Man of Steel and
to watch him die
yeah.
inside.
No, because it was
That
awful.
movie was awful.
I think we roasted that movie
Oh,
on
yeah.
one of the episodes. No,
Our
yeah.
episode was just half
I had
an hour
fun
of
though. It
talking
was
shit.
so fun.
You talked about that Nick Cage spider scene all day. You're like, that's what made the movie for
I was,
me, man.
I was like, you know what? Like, of all the things, like, whatever, good film, bad film, for them to do that, like, that takes some semblance of fucking guts or something
Yeah.
to do
some
that.
self-awareness,
So
I
I
guess.
have
Yeah.
some respect for that, I
Okay.
guess. But
In the context of that film, that is a highlight of the film for
Right.
me.
I
For
mean-
me, like seeing Nick Cage as Superman, it's like, all right, the film's already a fever dream. So
Yeah.
exactly,
you might as well throw in Nick Cage.
at least Nick Cage isn't dead, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least they got someone who was alive. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Oh, Star Wars, easy.
You're a
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Wars guy?
But they're both fantastic. I
Mhm.
don't think any. The Hobbit is my favorite book, but when it comes to movies,
Yeah.
Star Wars is.
Do you like the prequel trilogy?
I think it's okay. You can appreciate it for what it is,
Yeah.
but I think if you're just thinking good, bad,
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, it's not good. But I also don't want to say it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I always remembered our conversation about The Last Jedi when it first came out. We were both like pretty no, because that's the thing. That was back when like people were still watching the movie in theaters. So we both saw it and we are like, yeah, it's not great, but it's also like not bad.
Yeah.
I like that it tried things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I have respect for that movie, even though I don't agree with everything that it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a weird time.
So what's your favorite Star Wars film of the 9?
okay, so I admit that Empire Strikes Back is the better movie,
yeah.
but my favorite will always be A New Hope.
Nice.
Just because, I don't know, like the vibe of it is so. It's the beginning
It just hits.
of everything.
Yeah.
You know-
and just
yeah.
the scene where Luke is walking out and it's the twin suns and it cuts to him and the sun shining on his face. I'm like,
Nothing hits
Yeah.
as hard as that in Star Wars, in all of Star Wars.
Hell
That's
yeah.
so beautiful.
I know what you mean. It's just the beginning. It's like a comfort movie. I feel that
Exactly.
way about Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Spider-Man 2 is
Oh.
objectively the better film,
It is, yeah.
but Spider-Man 1 just hits home for me.
That is
Yeah.
the exact opinion that I
Yeah.
have. I
Yeah.
love the first one. Just man.
It just hits.
There's a charm to those types of movies too. It's just like you don't see that anymore. Or
Yeah.
at least I don't. It's the simplicity and also like the genuine emotions you get from those movies.
Sam Raimi is one of my favorite directors too.
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
We got to see that Crime Wave movie because you were like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be
Yeah.
great," and I was like, "I don't know, man." It was
like even Sam Raimi in interviews after was like, I went too far because I tried to make it like every single genre, and I'm like, man,
Right.
Sam Raimi is saying he went too far. Like, okay.
that's a yeah.
Bad Boys or Rush Hour?
Oh.
I don't know if you've seen both
Oh,
of those.
okay. I've seen them. They're both really good. I have to pick Rush Hour just
Mm.
because I love Jackie Chan and like the stunts he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to go
Jackie
with
Chan
that.
and Chris Tucker, they have amazing
Yeah,
chemistry.
yeah,
He has some good
exactly.
And it's
chemistry.
That
also
too.
fucking Jackie Chan, so you do get some like exciting
Mhm.
martial arts scenes and
Like that first Rush Hour movie. I have it stuck in my head the scene where he's like handcuffed to a steering wheel.
Yeah.
And he's doing
Yeah.
he's fighting with the steering wheel. I'm like, man, how did you think of this? Like that's
Yeah.
it's so smart stunt wise and
Yeah.
just
Jackie Chan's a legend.
amazing. He is.
Oh, we saw. Did
absolutely
we?
big
Did you
time.
see Police Story?
Yeah, we watched.
Yeah,
it.
we watched Police Story, and that was like I think his best.
Man, his love for stunts and his appreciation
Yeah.
for like film and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I hold him in a high regard, especially that last stunt when he's going down
Dude.
like a huge pole,
Yeah.
like levels of a mall, and the only thing that stops him from splat
Yeah.
are like the lights hanging from it, and it's just oh my god, that was so amazing.
I feel like
Yeah.
he doesn't get his flowers enough. Like he's
No.
not talked about enough as like the legend that he is in film.
I feel
No,
like a lot of
absolutely.
actors from like East Asia that were like stunt performers and stuff like that. People only remember their American films.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like who was the
Jet
actress?
Li.
Jet Li was one of them. But more recently, what's her name? She was in Everything Everywhere. That actress.
Michelle
Yeoh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about. Oh yeah, wow, this new up and coming. It's like, what are you talking about? Up and coming.
She's been here.
She's been in movies
Right.
for, I think, 40 years now. And she's like insane with her stunts and acting. So it happens though with Jet Li and I think another actor too.
It's like that thing with I don't know how to pronounce his name. The guy who directed Parasite, Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, Bong Joon-ho, yeah.
Yeah, Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah.
What he says, once you get over that 1-inch barrier of subtitles,
Yeah.
opens a whole world of film, and it's no truer thing has ever been said.
Absolutely. Damn.
Yeah, that's a world I want to dive into more for in film. Like I feel
Yeah.
like there's, I've missed a lot of the classics and I got to do it. I got to.
We get some nice picks here and there whenever we watch one. He's like, you know
Yeah.
what? Like,
even horror, like Pulse. That one
oh
we just
yeah,
watched.
we just watched that one. But that's what I mean. Like, we look at like Japanese horror films. We look at South Korean films, but also like
different perspectives.
The Promised Land that was Danish.
Yeah,
We
that's
saw that
true,
at
too.
TIFF,
That's
yeah.
true.
I
Mads
was-
Mikkelsen.
Oh,
that was
so
fantastic.
good. Great stuff.
I mean, even watching When Evil Lurks.
Oh, but that was Midnight Madness.
Yeah.
So I got a little drunk for
Okay,
that one. Yeah. But I get where you're coming from,
But
where it's
still,
like that's
getting
an
the different
Argentinian.
perspectives from all different countries and filmmakers. It's just the more diverse
Mhm.
any art form, anything in the world really becomes,
Mhm.
the better it is.
Yeah.
For sure, well said.
Oh yeah. Do you have any more
But
questions?
yeah, Godfather 1 or Godfather 2?
Oh. See, I feel like you'd think from my opinion with Star Wars and
And Sam Raimi.
and Sam
you pick
Raimi
one?
that I would pick 1 over 2, but
I
it's
think-
just something about 2.
Hell yeah, man.
Going back in time to how do I forget the Godfather's name?
To young Vito.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Young
Robert De
Vito,
Niro.
Yeah, Robert De Niro. Just something about that is
It's masterfully
fantastic.
done.
And that's-
The way it goes back and forth, it just, there's not a film where that lots of films do that, but none do it as well as that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's the one where Michael goes to Italy, right? Or is that also the
No,
first
Michael
one?
Michael
was
was
the
literally
first,
the first
one.
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the first one, right?
But Michael and that
yeah,
one.
you know, those are really close.
Yeah.
That's tough.
You know, Coppola says he considers it one film, part 1 and part 2, and that's what I like to say.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Because, like, you know, when people ask me my top 5 films, like, I gotta put both of them in there. I love The Godfather.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I usually now say I count Godfather 1 and 2 as one film.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's movies that sometimes when they are part 1, part 2,
Yeah.
you really feel like it's part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
Like the first example I think of that is Back to the Future 2 and 3.
That's what I was thinking.
Because Back to the Future 1 is like my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
Really?
But those feel just like, okay, it is a part 1, part 2.
Right.
Yeah.
But Godfather 1 and 2, although it is, you know, very cohesive, it's
Mhm.
just they're so good on their own too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not like a part 1 in
Ooh.
the sense of like Across the Spider-Verse where it's like a
Yes.
cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah,
it's not
that
a cliffhanger
cliffhanger.
ending. You don't like we'll find out what happens to Michael Corleone in the next one. It's like not really
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
They work well on their own. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of
Which is-
movies do that though. Like the Spider-Verse when that happened, I was thinking like Matrix Reloaded and how that's like, oh, you got to watch the next one or
Fuck,
like
yeah.
the Hobbit movies too did that. With the
Oh,
dragon.
I hate that's why.
Oh, that was a
'cause-
bad one.
Because The Hobbit is my favorite book
Yeah.
of all time I ever read. I hate those movies.
You don't like any of them, really?
Okay, to be fair, I watched the first one
Right.
the whole way through and was like, I don't
It was
want any
slow.
more of this at all.
Yeah.
It's more so like you love the book, so you come in with these expectations,
Yeah,
and they just don't meet them,
I
right?
had huge expectations, especially from Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, finally, we're gonna get the story of the Hobbit, which I love.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't what I wanted. Which, how can you compare to a book most of the time?
Right.
It's hard.
I think the main argument though was that the book was very small and they really stretched it to 3 hours with extended cuts.
They did not need to do what they
Yeah.
did.
Mm.
I don't know why Peter Jackson did that because it didn't even seem like he was as passionate as he was on Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
from the interviews, but I don't know. It's a dud, I guess you could say.
It's a dud.
Yeah.
So you said I want to go back to you said one of your favorite movies of all time is First Back to the
Oh,
Future.
that's such a good one, man.
And I have a good reason for why. Like I always loved it as a kid growing up. Just something about it. You know, it's one of those feel good sort of movies. I can
Yeah.
always turn it on, always watch it. But the whole reason why I realized I wanted to get into the film industry, was because of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I didn't know it. It was kind of unconscious, but I realized afterward. It was
Yeah, I
like,
got movies like that for sure.
Oh, same, yeah.
like a month away from having to apply, like the deadline to apply for university, college, whatever.
Mhm.
I was like, I'm gonna do graphic design,
Right.
which I was like, oh yeah, it's fun because it's graphic design, but I had like no real passion for it.
Right.
And I'd even gone to like the open houses at colleges
Mhm.
Yeah.
for graphic design. And then my family goes on a trip at Christmas, like Christmas time holidays, to California.
Mhm.
And we go to Disneyland and we go
Yeah.
to Universal. And
Oh, yeah.
for Universal, we went on this backlot tour where you look at a bunch of sets and things like that.
Yeah.
They had the set for the show Superstore,
Mhm.
for like The Voice too.
Yeah.
One of the sets was like Pirates of the Caribbean, one section like the blacksmith shop,
Yeah.
but one was the clock tower
yeah.
Damn.
from Back to the Future, and I just stood in front of it and I was like, man, like there's something special about filmmaking and storytelling and all that stuff. And it wasn't until I got back that I was looking through like one of like the books like that the college gave me, and I was
Mhm.
like, film and television production.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that. And because it was a month away, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
my parents are gonna like this because I'm changing my mind.
Yeah.
But I went to them, and my dad was like, I knew it, because he had told me before. He's like, are you sure you don't like editing? Like, because you talk about
Mm-hmm.
doing all these videos all the time, and I was
Yeah.
like, nah, I want to make graphic art. and then he turned out to be right, which yeah.
That's a great story.
I remember that transition too, because you were talking about. I think you even went to some classes about graphic design at St. Rock.
Yeah.
But then you told me about the experience at Universal, which I remember because I went to that as well.
You wanted to go to Sheridan and stuff first.
Well, I was similar in
Humber
terms
and
of
all
like
that
I applied to Humber, York,
Yeah.
Sheridan, and then Ryerson. Ryerson was the one I was more leaning towards.
Mm-hmm.
But then I didn't get in out of the 4. Ryerson was the one I didn't get into, but I got into Sheridan, and that was when I found out you got into Sheridan. So I was
Right.
like, holy shit, the same day.
Right.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we got the email and everything. I was like, what the hell?
That was nice.
Yeah, and it was crazy too because what was it? First year we didn't really see each
I
other
was
that
gonna say
much.
first year we didn't even have any classes together.
No, I think the last time I saw you after graduating high school was like the end of first term. Or first semester, sorry. And we
Yeah.
were just like, hey, how's it going? And it was just like, yeah, classes and
we,
stuff like
we were
that.
completely separated into 2 groups.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then second year we all came together, and it was like, oh, Matt, do you know this guy?
That's how it
'Cause-
was at
yeah,
Humbert
when we
too.
all
Like
meet,
second
yeah.
year, I was like meeting people like it was first year.
Yeah. It was crazy because the fact that your classes had a lot of people that we still talk to, like Andrew.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Was
yeah,
Matt
yeah.
in one of them? Matt Sahagan? Sam was probably,
I don't
right?
remember. Oh, yeah, Matt was in my. No, wait, that was second year. Or was
Second
it
year?
First year directing class.
I had Matt for directing too. But it was,
Hagen? Or you didn't?
yeah, for third year.
Oh, third year. No, I'm
Yeah,
talking about like the
second.
first directing class.
Oh, not the first.
'Cause
No,
that's
no,
when-
no.
that's when I met
No,
him.
no. Yeah. Sorry. But
But anyway.
yeah, there's a few. No. Yeah, it was like a few of us were like all gathered. Like Dawn was in my first year.
Yeah, I never met Don until
That's
the second year
Yeah.
when Andrew was like, "Hey, Don, Jacob, you guys haven't met?" When he was sitting between us,
Right.
and then we shook hands for the first time.
No, it was an interesting like meetup because like I met like a lot of the guys like in random short productions. So I was like camera for one. I was here for that, but it was nice that we all came together by I believe third year. I think third year is when we
It was
officially
like-
all gathered.
What was it? I did something that I was very quiet. I was.
It's a lot of
a very
people.
quiet person.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit quiet, but I'm better now, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kept, hanging around with them, whatever, and they brought me into their friend group
Yeah.
and let me join this group chat, and I was like, "Hey, Neves isn't in here." And I was like, "Can I add this guy?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And then
Yeah.
ever since then,
You added me
Dope.
to it, and now we've just been posting nonsense ever since. How long has it been
Years.
since I've been in that chat? Or how
Oh,
long is like
years.
5 years?
Yeah,
4 years?
probably. Well, you found a place to post like memes and stuff.
Since
Remember
high school?
Christian knows in
Oh,
high school
no.
how many times this
Oh,
guy,
no.
and everyone was like, "Neves, can you stop posting memes, please?"
They don't understand my humor. And then by the time Sheridan hit, I was like, thank you. Everyone understands my humor.
Your humor got better. you stopped posting the same picture over and over again of the
Yeah.
nutty professor with stuff coming out of his mouth. You would just post.
It was that Brendan Fraser. I posted Brendan Fraser pics. I think I posted the guy from Seinfeld, Wayne Knight, a few
Oh
times.
yeah.
Wayne Knight
But-
was funny.
Sorry, but just like that picture of the nutty professor is stuck in my head because, and I took a video and sent it to you before that like in the messaging app you can look at all the pictures people send.
And there's
Yeah.
just
And
lots
And I'm
of nutty
scrolling
professors.
through it. It's just over and over again.
I think I got kicked out of the high school chat a few times.
Or people left.
Yeah, well, Christian was like, all right, I got to put my foot down. All right, I'm banning you off the server. Like, Christian, get me back on, please.
You learned your
It
lesson.
It was like I
though,
was
you
in
learned.
jail for shitty memes, which it was like 25 to life.
Nutty
Anyways,
professor meme, straight to jail. Straight to jail.
I'm glad we've both grown out of that. Yeah,
hilarious.
I'm
Kind
putting
of.
you in the field
Kind
too.
of. No, it was me too. It was me too.
You were no better.
It's true.
Yeah,
true.
but what were we talking about Back to the Future?
Right.
Yeah.
About
you
the
said
mag-
Love
you
that.
said
Yeah.
that was like a feel good childhood movie. Give me your top 3 childhood movies. Your most watched
Oh.
movies in your childhood.
It's tough. You know what's funny? Actually, I think. I'm trying to think now.
My most watched movies in my childhood was like Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
That was my
Right.
number one
That's
Pixar.
a really good one.
Spider-Man 1, I had it on VHS. I still have that VHS. Like, the tape is bad from
Yeah.
running it like,
Yeah,
over and
yeah,
over and
yeah,
over again.
Dang. Okay, so those were yours.
Those were mine for sure.
I'm trying to think. Mine number one is obviously Iron Giant. Like that
Those were
one.
most
Oh,
watched.
yeah.
Like, you were
'Cause-
looping it as a kid.
Well, VHS. Yeah, well, I was
Yeah.
like 2 or 3, and my parents used to say like we had to get a new VHS for you because you just kept on playing. the movie.
Yeah, you just loop
Yeah.
it
This guy's
and
a
it
real
starts-
fan.
So what they did was they got me like I still have it. It's in the house. It's an unsealed VHS with the Iron Giant figure. just like
Oh, that's
there.
sick.
So I
That's
have that.
cool.
I got the DVD of it, and then I got the Blu-ray 20th anniversary
Awesome.
unopened because I've
Yeah.
seen it so many times. I just want to leave it there.
Of course, yeah. It's a
And
collector
my
thing.
goal is to get a laser disc of it.
Oh, would you have like a laser disc player?
No, I just want it.
Oh,
I just
okay.
want the
Fair
laser
enough.
because I talked to Don's brother, and he's like collecting laser discs. So I'm like, dude, if you
Have
find
either of you ever used a laser disc before?
Never
I've seen
in my
one.
life.
I've wanted to use it.
Yeah.
Like the format is so ridiculous.
It
that You
is.
have to go flip.
comically large
have yeah.
CD thing.
But I mean,
Yeah.
the artwork is so cool.
Beautiful.
It's like vinyl records of film. It's
Yeah.
so dope, right? It's
Yeah.
such a cool thing to collect.
Oh, because
But it's not practical.
No.
No,
even,
not
even
at
a
all.
short film, you have to like still flip it
It's every 30 minutes you have to flip
every
the disc.
30
crazy.
minutes.
It's
Like
crazy.
that's nuts.
No, I wonder why they never made any more.
Yeah, I
but-
wonder why I didn't catch on.
Yeah, but yeah,
But
Iron
if
Giant.
If I'm thinking of,
Oh, your
It's-
top 3, yeah. Like
it's
your most
you know what?
rewatched
I
films.
can't for one of these. I can't like narrow it down to one movie.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But because my dad is such a huge like diehard like remember every line from the movies fan of James Bond.
Yes.
I watched James Bond movies as a kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Most I can remember was probably like Die Another Day, which is kind of funny.
Really?
but
All right.
Oh my gosh.
I don't. But just all the old James Bond movies, Doctor No, Goldfinger,
Yeah.
you know, all of them.
Uh-huh.
Sean Connery was his favorite before Daniel Craig,
yeah.
but I guess we'd watched the Sean Connery ones the most.
Mm-hmm.
But I have
Is
good
Craig
memories
his
of that.
favorite now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about it. We're like, Sean Connery's so good with the, he's so like cold and
Yeah.
but he also has some like funny moments sometimes, but he's not really funny.
Yeah.
But Craig is just
Craig's Bond.
perfect.
He got
Craig's Bond.
everything
If
right.
I close
He's-
my eyes and think about
he's so
Bond,
human
it's Craig.
and
Mhm.
Yeah.
still like so funny, but also so he can be cold, like a cold killer, like Bond should be.
yes.
Star Wars, I guess, would be another childhood, like A New Hope. Watched that a ton of times. Man, that's tough.
Mm-hmm. Those
Better.
are some pretty good ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are good ones.
Thinking about one more.
What's
Yeah.
what was the other one? No, that's fair. But speaking of the James Bond
Yeah,
films,
let's do
because
some
I
Bond talk.
I really
Oh,
I told
okay.
Nathan about Bond.
Let's
man.
go.
Okay, man. First off, how would you rank all the Bond actors from like
Oh.
best to worst, or maybe not
Okay.
worst, but least favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
think they all have stuff to offer.
For sure.
And they're
Mhm.
all pretty good. For me, Dalton is my least favorite.
Yeah, you've told. Yeah.
Yeah, you know that.
We've had our hot
I've-
takes
I've
without.
expressed that.
Yeah.
I think Roger. No, you know what?
You think Roger Moore?
I don't know because I like parts of Roger Moore, but I
Right.
feel like it's either Roger Moore or Pierce Brosnan next.
Okay.
And I think I'll put Roger Moore there because he has some pretty bad movies.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
I just like the way he is, how charismatic he is. He offers like such a different, take to it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Then I put Lazenby.
Lazenby's a good one. Yeah.
Although, yeah, I really like Lazenby a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then Connery. Then Craig.
Yeah. I think
That's
I
yeah.
probably do the same. Well, maybe
Except for
not with-
Dalton.
No, Dalton. No, I'd probably put Dalton over Lazenby, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I do Craig,
Okay.
Connery, Dalton, and then Lazenby, Brosnan, and then Roger Moore would be my least favorite because he had so much potential.
I get it. No, you're
Yeah.
right.
He had so
You're
much
right.
potential, but the films were so shit that they
You're
never
not
gave
wrong.
it to him.
You're not wrong at all.
Yeah.
And me just giving that to him is just because, I don't know, I just like the way that he was so different from Connery and came in and had so much chemistry with the other, actors at,
Yeah.
at MI. What is it?
MI6, yeah.
MI6, yeah, I
Yeah.
figured. Yeah.
It was rough.
fair.
It was rough too because like I didn't even hate the later films from Moore because I think it was like not Live and Let Die. What was A View to a Kill? Though
View to a
Christopher
Kill is
Walken.
his last one.
His last one. He's like 65 years old in that.
and it's
He's
like, man, you do not belong here.
oh, MI6, like the average age at MI6 in that movie is like, what, 70? So it's like,
Damn.
we're
Yeah.
going again, Bond. But I like the fact that Roger Moore still has like that charisma,
Mm-hmm.
but it just, he was in it too long.
I love Spy Who Loved Me.
That's
Yeah.
a great one.
I just wanted so badly. He shows off his charisma, but I
Yeah.
just wanted more of it. Yeah.
The production
I thought it
value
was
of
good.
Spy Who Loved Me and Thunderball are my favorite of all the Bond films.
How Jaws was like introduced
Ooh,
in A Spy Who
yeah.
Loved Me was
Yeah.
like a classic horror movie. Just like the
Yeah.
lights flashing, you see this person, or you see Roger Moore, and then you see Bond girl. I forget her name. Sorry.
For Spy Who Loved Me,
Yeah.
Ringo's wife.
Exactly. Whoa, that's a little.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's
No,
what-
her name was Anya something.
That's right.
Yeah,
Russian
Russian
lady.
She was the Russian spy.
And Jaws, man.
And Jaws.
That's a
Jaws
good
was so
introduction.
good. He came back again in Moonraker.
Moonraker's not bad either. It's
Yeah.
pretty decent.
Honestly,
I never
yeah.
saw that one.
Moonraker. Well, because when you hear the premise of
Yeah.
like James Bond in space, you're thinking,
Right.
oh, this is gonna be the shittiest
Star
Bond
Wars,
film.
Yeah.
Star Wars had like just came out or
Yeah.
something, and at the end of the movie,
Oh, they're cashing in
he,
on
does,
that.
he does a trench run.
No.
not really. It's like, oh, the deadly thing is falling to the earth. You have to
Yep.
shoot at James Bond, and he's
Right.
like, I got it.
Yeah.
The freaking British soldiers come into space and there's literally a laser battle because a lot of the Bond
Oh,
films,
yeah.
because a lot of the Bond films
Wow.
end like I think You Only Live Twice was the British army taking down the evil bad guys from like Japan, and they have their machine guns and stuff, but it's like, yeah, but what if in space?
What if lasers?
What if they shoot lasers? I'm like, this is a Bond film. What the fuck is happening?
That's really, really funny.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Daniel Craig?
Oh.
Oh,
Because those I've seen them all. Like
You know what?
I haven't seen all the OG Bonds, but the Craigs I've seen them all.
the best
Yeah.
is by far it's Spectre, obviously.
Shut the fuck up.
No. That is the worst one.
We talked
Clearly
about
the
that.
worst. It's the worst.
I
It's
think
the
that's when
worst.
we were talking about Bond.
No, I was just messing.
Yeah.
It's obviously for me Casino Royale.
Yeah, all three of us feel the same way.
And
Hell yeah,
the
man.
second one is No Time to Die.
Yes.
And then Skyfall for
Then
me.
Skyfall. A lot of people praise Skyfall, which I understand, but I feel like Skyfall.
It's like decent.
yeah.
It's good, but the villain is
It's decent and it's memorable.
Oh, he's good.
The
to
villain
me,
is top
Skyfall is
tier.
extremely memorable.
It
The
is
song,
absolutely.
the film, and No Time to Die is extremely memorable as well. Like,
Yeah.
su-
Mhm.
yeah.
There's
I-
something about Skyfall though, like what you were just saying to your point.
Yeah.
There is something really memorable about it, like even more memorable than No Time to Die or even Casino Royale. I just remember
Yeah.
so many set pieces. There's so many things that happen in that movie. I can just remember.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But like Casino Royale, I'm like, oh yeah, that one's amazing.
It's
but it's
perfect,
not as
It's my perfect Bond
I don't know.
film.
It's
Yeah.
weird. It is perfect.
It
I
is
think it's the
perfect.
perfect Bond movie
Yeah.
for sure.
With Skyfall, I would say, because that was the first Bond film I saw in theaters. And I was able to watch it, and I was like, oh, this is what a Bond film is like. And then once you get into like after Adele's theme, you're like, ooh, I'm in for a show, you know, because
Yes.
it's got that orchestra, that epicness to it. And
Yeah, that hits to this day.
oh, geez. So yeah, obviously for like that movie to come out, it kind of put Bond in a new level of like popularity, even though he was already popular as
yeah,
is.
it was like popular with the new generation.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm actually curious, like, who they're gonna cast for
Yeah.
Bond next.
Yeah.
Been hearing a lot of actors, and a lot of the picks sound like ass.
Do you have like a pick in your head of somebody
No.
to cast?
Not at all. I
No.
mean, I've just heard interesting ones.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone that I've been like, oh yes, absolutely.
Me neither.
Mm.
I want Christopher Nolan to direct it.
Oh,
Obviously, I know
yeah.
that's been like
I hear
rumored.
the rumors. I
Yeah.
hear
and
the
and he
rumors.
was like, oh, I'd love to direct. That'd be such an honor. I was like, please give us the best Bond movie
It would be so
of
good.
all time.
You know
please.
he will too.
Yeah.
He'll kill it. No questions asked.
Yeah.
You brought up before to me John Boyega. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would fit the role, but I think it would be cool.
Mhm.
I would be open to it.
Yeah.
I saw someone mention before Dev Patel.
Oh, he would be good
I
too.
figure he would be really interesting. I would like to see it.
hmm
But other than that, I mean, I know someone said Idris Elba, but
I feel like Idris Elba's
but
too
he's
old.
Too old.
Yeah.
People have said,
He's-
no, I
he's
know.
getting
That's
old,
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't
People
do
said
Idris
he's
Elba.
too old.
Mhm.
But if he was younger,
Yeah.
could have been pretty cool.
I
Especially
think
I would
so.
love to see
he
him.
has like that roughness that Bond should have.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing about Bond is like he's rough, but they taught him. He's like from the streets,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but they taught him how to pretend or to be a gentleman.
Yeah.
Which I feel like young Idris Elba,
He
could have pulled that off really well.
Yeah.
But I don't really care who they pick.
Yeah.
I'll give anyone a chance.
hmm
Me too. I think what's more important is who's directing.
Who's directing
Big
it?
time.
Yeah.
Big time. big
Because
time.
that was the thing too with No Time to Die. It was originally going to be directed by Danny Boyle, who did Trainspotting and stuff, but I never saw him as like an action guy.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, I
that's
agree
why
with
they
you.
switched with him to who was the other guy?
He did a really good job. I forget his name.
Yeah, he's the
That-
first American director, by the way, to do a Bond
Oh,
film.
really?
Yeah, they just
That's
got him like
crazy.
randomly.
First
and-
American director to do a Bond
Yeah,
film.
because
I
a
had
lot of
no
these Bond
idea.
films have these weird things. I mean, same with the Harry Potter franchise, where it's like, no, we want it to be all UK, like British
Right.
based, and I'm just like, okay, that's weird. That's why
Alright,
Spielberg
fine.
never got to do a Bond film.
Damn.
He wanted to, but
He
he's like,
wanted to,
nah.
right?
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
imagine
no.
denying, imagine denying Steven Spielberg because you're American.
Eon Productions, yeah,
He's probably the best director
yeah.
like today, right now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Oh, Spielberg?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I would say Scorsese, but
Oh
I guess
no, okay, no, sorry,
Yeah.
you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
But I just meant like, I guess I meant more. I guess yeah, you're right, Scorsese.
I mean, like I'm looking at
Scorsese's
longevity,
that
but in terms
guy.
of like box office, yeah, obviously Spielberg is more
Spielberg
universal.
does something special. He
Yeah.
takes you. He's like all of his movies are like, here, let me take you on this journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
at full immersion. Like
it's
he's
great.
Yeah.
It's great. Man,
Oh.
that sucks. They didn't get him to do it.
No, he did Indiana Jones instead, so
what
I
if,
feel
what
like
if
that
he
counts.
did Moonraker? I know he was too young.
Oh, if he did
obviously.
Moonraker.
If he did like a Moonraker, a new Moonraker.
That would be like post Jaws, so it'd be like after Jaws, yeah, I'm doing Moonraker, guys.
Damn.
And everyone's like, what? What? Why?
they do Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with aliens, and he's like, guys, I don't want to go to space anymore. Stop, please.
Stop bringing me back here. Or like with the indie films, somebody made a theory that Temple of Doom, because Dan Aykroyd made a cameo, he's like, oh, Crystal Skull, because Dan Aykroyd's really into like the
Yeah, the
The-
Crystal Skull vodka.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I see.
yeah.
Crystals. This vodka has been infused with crystals, and we poured it
Crystal
down
meth.
on a wall of crystal meth.
That's Dan Aykroyd's
I
secret
can't
ingredient.
get enough. Oh, man.
but in terms of what was it, Indiana Jones? Did you see the newest one? No.
I
Will you
heard-
ever?
You know what? I've
Will
heard
you
from.
ever?
Okay, to be honest with you, I've only heard it from people that are. I don't know if the right word is older. I just
Older
they're
generation.
older than the older generation.
Yeah,
They've seen it and they were like, it was fun, it was good,
yeah.
but I don't expect great things from it because all I've heard is that they're like, wow, we didn't know that we should have been grateful for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull until we watched this movie.
Yeah.
That's what Nev said. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the worst Bond.
That's
Or
all
the worst
I've
Bond,
heard.
The worst indie.
yeah. Because like,
which makes me sad.
well, no, because like Crystal Skull still had Spielberg directing. Like, you remember that bike chase with him and Mutt Williams, like Indian stuff? That was great.
It was fun.
There's
And the-
memorable parts of
It was
a
fun.
bad
yeah,
movie.
like
There's good parts, there's good
before it
parts.
turned into a PS3 game. Like, I like the movie, and then
Yeah.
Dial of Destiny doesn't have Spielberg, so it just all of the action feels stale.
And there's like that one article that was like, why Spielberg stepping away from this new geez, I did it now too.
I know.
Yeah.
This new
You got
Indiana
Bond on the
Jones-
brain.
This new Indiana Jones movie will actually be good thing, and it was like, no,
No,
it was not good at all.
no.
Definitely not.
It cost $500 bajillion.
Generational director stepping away from your movie,
Yeah.
actually, good thing.
Right? But it's like these franchises go on too long. Like I
Oh.
felt the same way with what was it? Freaking Terminator. Like after Cameron left, like why do you keep
Bruh.
making
Why?
them?
Why do you keep doing it? I know the quest for more money.
Money.
We know this, but like, come on.
I know the franchises are getting out of hand. We
Ugh.
were just talking about earlier how it's like in 2 years you get two franchises on their 10th installment.
Saw X and
Saw
Fast
X
X.
just came out. Fast X had come out. Like number 10.
But Saw X
Getting
is
good
getting
reviews.
good reviews.
Getting
Are you a
really
Saw? Are
Which
you a
is
Saw
hilarious.
fan?
Not at all. I'm
Okay.
like interested.
You've seen some of them?
I've seen like traps and things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never like sat down to be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this torture movie for, for an hour and
So,
20 minutes or something.
I've recently sat down and watched all 9 of these torture
really?
movies.
Oh my god.
I always liked the first one. I think is real cool. You know, it takes place in one room. It's a very low budget horror film that
Yeah.
works really well.
Those are cool.
And then on the second one, they expand on the lore pretty well. The third one, they do, and then it's fucking.
That is crazy.
Then it's just ridiculous.
And then you got
Yeah.
what's his name, John Kramer
John-
with the baseball cap backwards.
Yeah.
Well, that's him
Yeah.
as the 30-year-old man. Yeah.
And it's
30-year-old
like, you know, he's dead by the end of 3, and then 4, 5, 6 are just
That's
just
7.
flashback movies. It's just like just people carrying out his will, like he left a bunch of errands for these people to run.
I never understood the plot point, and maybe I'm getting this wrong because I'm remembering incorrectly. But isn't there like some plot point where it's like this person survived from this trap, and now they're a student of the Jigsaw.
Isn't that like
Yeah.
3 of them?
And it's like, why?
So he
There's like
has
3 of them.
He has multiple apprentices, and they're
Yeah,
all people who survive traps. And here's how they explain it. So John Kramer, his story is that he was faced with a cancer diagnosis, very Walter White style. You're gonna die. You're
Yeah.
fucked, right?
instead of
And
meth.
instead of cooking
Instead of
meth,
meth, it's traps.
That's pretty good.
and the whole thing is like, I went through my life not appreciating it. And when
Yeah.
you have a near-death experience, he tries to kill himself. He drives off a bridge
Mm-hmm.
and survives. And there's a scene where he pulls like something out of his chest, and he's like, oh, I'm so happy to be alive, type shit. So he wants people to do that. So he finds fiends and people
Right,
who are,
right.
And the way they kind of explain it is that these people are so grateful for what he did and have like this new outlook on life and really believe in this therapy that he's
Okay,
providing.
so it's like a cult type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
that's
understand
that's the
that.
vibe, yeah.
That's pretty.
But Saw
interesting.
X got the certified fresh. I'm so excited
It's
to
the
see
only
it.
Saw film with a
Fans-
certified fresh.
Fans and critics alike
Yeah.
all think it's great. Which
Man,
is,
I'm so excited to see it because
I-
I just watched so many dog shit Saw movies to
You
get to this.
you said it best.
What?
10 times a charm.
yeah. If
times
you
the
don't
charm.
succeed, try again.
Try
This is such a bad thing for the industry, though.
It's horrible.
They're like, oh, we made like 5 movies that didn't work. The 6th one, yeah.
I hope the franchise. I'm gonna start watching the Saw movies because I usually watch a horror franchise
It's
every
October. Yeah, you gotta.
So I did Friday the 13th a few years back, and that was fucking
Tough.
rough, man.
tough.
It took me 4 movies to get to a good one.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Really?
like no, it's terrible because like a lot of them are just like they're. The first one is essentially a ripoff of Halloween,
I don't even like
but
the
in the
first
woods.
one.
Yeah.
No, the first one's boring
It's
as
like
shit.
with most of these franchises, at least you like the
it's
first
not even
one.
him in the
yeah,
first one.
no, it's the
It
mom.
sucks,
And then
bro.
the second one, he's got a burlap sack,
Oh, it
which
sucks.
is boring. And then like part
It's
3.
funny that the mask is so iconic, but it doesn't show up until.
Part 3.
Yeah.
I know that's
Yeah.
one of those weird things,
Interesting.
right?
Well, it's funny because it's such a throwaway thing too, because it's like one of the characters like trying to scare people. He's like, "I got a hockey mask," and then Jason just like chops his head off and then takes the mask for no reason.
Yeah.
Why does he need a
The
mask?
best Friday the 13th sequence, best moment in what is it like Friday the 13th or what is it like Freddy? Not Freddy. What was that?
Jason
Sorry,
Goes to Hell?
Jason goes to like Manhattan or something.
Oh, that's part 8. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Part 8?
Yeah, yeah.
When he's face to
God.
face with that guy and he's like boom boom punching Jason and Jason's like taking it, not hitting him back, and he's like, all right, give me your best shot. He just knocks his head off. It's like, wow. And the director was like, yeah, Jason had a lot of respect for him in that moment. He was going to let him go. He wasn't going to kill him.
Yeah.
But then he said, give me your best shot. So Jason killed him.
Wow.
Part 8 is.
That's
I think Part 8's the worst one. I know all the movies in Friday the 13th, man. This is a funny shit, man.
I just love the moment where it's like they're in New York hanging out. And then she's like, oh my God, it's Jason. That's just walking through the crowd for no reason.
I think the funniest part about that is the fact that the movie sets up like they go in a boat to New York, but the implication is Camp Crystal Lake goes from there to New York.
Like the lake moved?
Yeah, like the lake
What?
moved. No. It makes as much sense as like Jaws 4, like the shark is seeking revenge.
Oh, yeah. So wait. So you think Jason goes to New York
Yeah.
is worse than Jason goes to space?
Jason X is a little bit funnier.
Okay, fair
A
enough.
little bit funny, but they're both shit.
Jason X kind of has a nice aesthetic. I like the vibe that they went for with Jason X with a different mask and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
futuristic
kind of cool.
looking.
It looks
I was
kind of
like,
cool.
okay, fair
it's
enough.
more memorable than
Yeah,
Jason Goes to
yeah,
Manhattan.
yeah.
to
Once you
me.
go to space, though, I feel like that's
Can't
when
go
you're.
back.
It's like John Kramer. I'm gonna go the aliens torture.
Saw in space.
Area 51.
Oh my God.
I can see it happening, but yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching the Saw movies.
My favorite detail about the new Saw movie
Mm-hmm.
is that like test screenings, test audiences were so positive. The producers were like, "Did people make a mistake?"
Are you
or like,
sure?
That's
they're like,
hilarious.
"We don't believe you. Is this a prank?
Are you sure we played Saw? Or?
Did we play the wrong movie?" And they're like, "No, it's good." They're like, "What? We made a good movie?"
Oh, that's amazing. Because the director of this new Saw film, he was the editor since the first one.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
an OG editor.
Yeah. So he's like, if somebody's
Editor.
gonna know
And-
Saw editing,
But he also directed a dog shit one. He directed, I think, 6 and 7. Like
No.
two dog shit
Well,
ones.
never
Yeah.
mind.
You know
Yeah.
what? Third time's a charm.
Third
Time's a charm for that guy.
Whatever.
Again, I guess the rule keep on trying is true.
Yeah.
God, don't burn this tape.
What's
don't
funny-
Don't let the industry see this.
What's funny is James Wan was in charge. He was the creator of Saw, and he has not been
He's
involved in
great.
it since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd rather do Aquaman too. Let me. I'm about to head
I'm
out.
doing Aquaman too.
I can't wait for that
Oh,
keynote
geez.
to come out.
What have you been watching lately? You watch anything good lately?
Yeah.
You know what? I watched 3 movies yesterday
Holy
wow.
shit!
because I was bored.
Nice.
And I was hanging out in my house, not doing anything.
Fuck.
So I watched Juno,
Okay.
which I was like, all right, this is good.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
some dialogue is kind of,
Yeah.
you know, it's iffy.
It's-
like
yeah.
calling each other home skillet every single sentence.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What's
yeah.
up? My shiznit. And
2007?
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
no. But that part near the end where she gives birth.
Yeah.
And spoilers.
Oh, that's the whole premise. yeah.
And there's like.
Can't believe you just spoiled Juno for the
I know
audience.
the 15-year-old movie.
Yeah,
Oh
like 20
shit.
years old. Oh man. There's like the sequence at the end after she gives birth. Michael Cera is there.
Yeah.
Which best aftercare ever.
Hell yeah.
And what's it called? Sea of Love is playing, but it's like a different rendition, not the original version.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's such like a peaceful, like lullaby-like version, and it's
Nice.
just so touching. And I'm like, wow, that is like a magical moment in this movie. But the rest of it, I'm like, okay, it's kind of
Yeah.
average.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And then I watched When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, that's a
Because
classic.
I've been wanting to watch that for forever,
Mhm.
and it's such a great film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So amazing. Very funny.
Yeah.
What's her name? I always forget her
Meg
name.
Ryan?
Meg Ryan is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Billy Crystal's good.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher's in it, which
Oh,
was such
yeah.
a pleasant surprise. And
yeah,
I was like,
she
oh
was good in
man,
it. Yeah.
she's such a great actor too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched what is it called again? Earth Girls Are Easy, which sounds strange,
Wait,
but it's supposed
is
to be
that the Jeff Goldblum,
yes,
Gina Davis?
Jeff Goldblum,
How
Gina
the
Davis.
What a triple feature,
Jim
bro.
Carrey,
Whoa.
Jim Carrey, and I think it's Marlon Wayans.
How do you fucking watch
Because
that movie?
I saw like a clip of it, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. Might as well. And it was supposed to be like a musical comedy, so I'm like, okay, fine. But there's like 3 songs in it, and one of them is like, time to do a makeover. Change the way you look so your man will like you.
Oh no.
The second one is, blondes are better than every other hair color.
Oh my god.
We may be stupid, but we're blonde and everyone likes us.
Oh.
And then the other one was, I'm mad at my man for cheating on me.
So this
Those are the 3 songs.
What you're saying is this film was very progressive at the time.
Oh, definitely. It's very strange. It's very funny that Jim Carrey's in it. He has
Yeah.
like no real lines,
Mm-hmm.
but he's just played as, this is a good-looking guy here. Like
Yeah.
he's not anything other than that.
Oh wow.
I mean, he's funny, but he's just speaking alien the whole time.
Oh, I see.
Jeff
I see.
Goldblum is Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
because he's an alien. He learns to speak. He learns to be Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum's an alien. We know.
Hell yeah.
And then Marlon Wayans is
Marlon Wayans. Yeah.
he dances, and it's a good sequence.
What a weird movie, but I
That's
remember seeing the poster for that. I'm
I
like,
never heard of
what?
that
this
movie.
is out there.
There's actually a really good sequence. Like the rest of it, it's like, okay, this isn't very good, but it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great sequence where, so Gina Davis is like taking care of these aliens, right?
Right.
And there's a nightmare sequence where she wakes up, and it's in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like those old B movies of like the 50s and
Yeah,
stuff.
Cool.
Mhm.
And then you see she's like because she's like, oh, I hope these aliens aren't, bad at first. And then she's like, oh no, they're good.
Mhm.
But I guess her fear sneaks up on her again. So she has this nightmare,
Yeah.
and it's all just like old like 50s B movie. Like the robot, you got like the alien, and then the furry guy
Yeah.
that captures the lady, that sort of
Right.
thing.
Right. Right.
Just all everywhere, and it's in black and white, and it's just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a spaceman with like a blaster or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Star
just that
Wars.
sequence, I was like, man, this is like kind of like a little bit of like a love letter to those movies.
Mhm.
This
That's cool.
this sequence, but no,
That's
yeah, that
nice.
sequence was cool.
Good
But
stuff.
other than that, you don't need to watch it.
Yeah, that's
No.
a crazy triple feature,
Yeah.
man. That's a crazy day of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some good ones though. Like When Harry Met Sally. If you like Meg Ryan films, you'll probably like Sleepless in Seattle and
I need to watch that too. That's on my
You've
list.
Got Mail.
That's been on my list. Sleepless in Seattle. Yeah.
You do the double feature Tom Hanks Meg Ryan rom coms. You're gonna have a good
Oh,
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Christian, you were giving us the time. Yeah, okay. Well, you know what, Jacob, it's great talking to you on Real Talk Interviews. It was amazing.
Yeah, great conversation.
Thanks. Much
Yeah,
appreciated.
and
I like your taste. I like you're a man of
yeah.
culture.
Thanks.
You're a man
thanks.
of culture
Appreciate
for
it,
sure.
Appreciate it.
You like my. You agree with me with Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
You agree with me?
You agree with me with Star Wars.
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
man of culture.
You
Yeah.
agree with me on everything.
You got good
Therefore,
opinions.
you got good opinions.
You're right.
You're right.
Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's all the time we have for Real Talk interviews. If you want to see more, check out our YouTube channel playlist. If you want to see more upcoming episodes, go
Hell
and
yeah.
subscribe, like, and share, comment below, and all that.
just landed on my head.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, just landed right on my head.
Jeff Goldblum, the
Keep him
Fly.
safe. Joe Goldblum. It was a ladybug.
Oh shoot. The sequel.
The sequel, Ladybug. But yeah, that's all the time we have, and hope to talk to you all soon.
Take care. Brush your hair. Peace.
Peace.